President Trump says the U.S. signed a trade deal with China but offered no details on the agreement. Meanwhile, the president continues to pressure other nations to come to the table for trade negotiations or face some steep tariffs. For more on this, our Weijia Jiang is at the White House. Weijia, good morning. So what do we know about this new trade agreement with China, and is it final yet?
Good morning, Michael, and good morning to everybody. So this is not exactly a new trade deal. This was formalizing talks that already happened in mid-June to really move forward with China, because as you remember, we were locked in a pretty tense situation where the U.S. was threatening 145% permanent tariffs on China, which would be unsustainable not only for consumers but for businesses. So in June, they came to an agreement to bring those rates down, and China also brought the rate of U.S. Exports down to 10%. We went from 145 to about 30%, and also agreed for China to start reducing any restrictions on rare earth minerals. And those are really important for many different sectors, especially when it comes to technology, because those things are used for components in consumer electronics, in wind turbines, in electric vehicles. And so what the president was talking about yesterday, according to a White House official, was just putting a signature to that agreement. So we shouldn't think of it as the end of the trade war or the big trade deal with a capital T, but it's certainly an important development as we continue to watch how this all unfolds, Michael.
And Weijia, President Trump is pushing Congress to pass what he's called the big, beautiful budget bill by the 4th of July. What are the sticking points here, and what's at stake for the president?
Well, for the president, this is the centerpiece of his entire domestic policy and really what he ran on. And so many things that are built into this bill are campaign promises that could go broken if he is not able to pass this big, beautiful bill. And he imposed this July 4th deadline. To be clear, it's not a real deadline. I mean, if lawmakers take more than that, it's okay. It can still be passed. But he is adamant that it gets to his desk by Independence Day because he doesn't want this to drag along. And for Republicans, it's tricky. There are some fiscal hawks who say it is simply too expensive and there needs to be more cuts. And there are some moderates who are really worried about tougher restrictions on benefits when it comes to things like food stamp programs, like SNAP and Medicaid. And so there's a lot of internal conversation, is a good political way to put it, Michael, about how to move forward. But we know that the president is working the phones. He's having a lot of meetings here at the White House because he wants to get this done.
All right, Weijia Jiang at the White House. Thanks for joining us.